Happy Thursday, everyone. Happy Thursday. It's your girl, Adina. Mm, Drinking my tea. I'm feeling sparkly today. This is our seventh edition of the Liberated Pussy podcast. And I am bringing my sister, Monique. Yes, 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 yes. We've been busy about the work of the feminine. I see you here, Monique. It says you've joined. Okay. All right. Hey, hey, hey. Hopefully she'll be in here soon. Come on, IG. Work with us today. Work with us today. There we go. Third time is a charm. Thursday is Jupiter Day. We got a lot happening, a lot going on, and we got a lot of work to do. And we are about this business. Monique, are you here? I see you here. Accept. Let's see if I do it. Okay. Yay! There we are.
Greetings. How y'all doing?
Greetings. Hey, honey, how are you?
I'm present. I'm here for the work. I'm here to do my part.
Yes, I shade of that. Let's do our work. Let's do
Yes,
our work. I see you outside in
I
LA.
am. It is sunny. The sun is not messing around. I'm out here with my cat.
Oh, hi, kitty. I give thanks for sunny LA. I'm
Yes.
here in the DC area. It's a little cooler today. I got my hoodie on today, so it's a little cooler here.
Nice. So we're on our seventh edition of the Liberated P podcast. I'm so grateful to be in this work with you and the work that you have done with Goddess Technology and giving women the tools to remember who we are, to wake up to our power and our role. And it's a very interesting time because I don't know what's going on. On social media, there seems to be this big discussion, like it's almost like a competition around between women and men. And your work is the work of the Goddess Technology is not about being in competition with anybody, but really coming into alignment with ourselves.
Harmonizing. Absolutely. When I think about just the society at large pitting us against each other, that doesn't serve men, that doesn't serve women, that doesn't serve children, that doesn't serve the planet. It just keeps us in bullshit.
That's right.
Like bullshit that doesn't have us bringing about what we really want. We want deep harmony with the masculine, with our inner masculine and our outer masculine. And that's what the goddess is all about. We didn't create ourselves in this dimension to fight with each other. That's my brother. That's my friend. That's my lover. That's my father. That's my grandfather.
That's my uncle.
That's my uncle.
Yes.
That's my son.
That's right.
And so there are ways to get what we want that doesn't include fighting. Now, there's a time to fight, and we have to be clear on when that is. But really, what it's time to do right now is find ways to connect. And we're more alike than we are different. And so that's what this goddess work is about. Someone asked me yesterday, like, do I have to be a part of goddess technology? I'm like, you're already a part. You're already a part. It's just whether you active in it or not, and we have taken the stance of actively midwifing ourselves and bringing all those along who want to be a part of this awakening with us and healing the planet first inside and seeing it on the outside. So yes, it's been a powerful journey. Powerful.
I think thank you for that. The thing that's so significant that women must begin to understand is we create this reality. Every human being comes through the portal of a woman. We call that which is in the invisible into form. It happens through our bodies. It happens through our thoughts. It happens through our feelings. We are creative in every way, whether we recognize it or not. Now, the question is, are you willing to do the work to transform your mind so that you understand the nature of your power and how it functions?
Right.
Most women, it's just the timing on the planet. Most of us don't realize who we are. I remember when I had my son, I have one son, you have three, but after I came out of the hospital, I was like, every time I saw a human being, I was like, oh, every person was born through a woman.
Monique, I had the exact same experience with my first son. I have profound appreciation for humanity after having birthed a whole life into the world.
That's right.
Tell me about yours.
And then that life goes out into the world and creates and builds, but that life spent all of their time in our wombs from the time that we were children. They were in our ovaries, right? So they've been with us. I was in my mother's womb, so then my son was there with me, right? So it's generational. We have to understand that women carry the energy. We carry the creative power. So if we don't understand that, if we're abdicating it and abandoning it and blaming others for the things that are going on in our lives, we are giving up our power. And it's just such an important thing for us to begin to recognize ourselves as creator, because that is the role that we hold. We are the creator. And the memory is stored in the mother. The memory, right? The memory of how to create a body, how to put a body together, how to put the liver where the liver belongs, how to put the lungs where the lungs belong, how to put the brain. Like all of that is encoded in the creatrix that is the woman. And if you are not moving through your world, understanding that that is your power all the time, you are leaving all your resources on the table.
And if you're fighting with the masculine, you're leaving your resources on the table. We should be working with the masculine, our inner masculine, our outer masculine. When you say about the memory, what struck me is that if you think about being in your grandmother's womb and all that she faced. So my grandmother was born in 1926. Your grandmother was born, you know the year?
1921.
1921. So, and think about her being in her grandmother's womb. So we're connected to all of this quote unquote history, the stories. And now that we are awakened to it, we have an incredible opportunity to heal. To literally heal the things our grandmothers felt, the things our mothers felt, the things that we decide to carry forward. We get to be the shift point. We get to be the place where it changes. And that is the power that's available to us. It feels so good now that
that's right.
We are awakened to what we have the opportunity to do. And that is Goddess technology. So I feel tingly just thinking about, wow. I know some of the things my grandmother shared with me, and her birthday was yesterday, and I know many things she didn't share with me. And we don't even have to know, but the memory is already in ourselves. It's already here.
That's
already here.
That's right.
So let's transmute it. Let's transmute it.
That's right. That's right. And it can be done. So, many of us are suffering because we are not expressing the way we're meant to express. So our relationships don't work. Our, and our connection to ourselves are broken, meaning we are misinformed about who we are and how we should function. And because of this misinformation, then we behave out of alignment with how we're meant to function, So, one of the simple things you were saying, the birth thing, it's, many of us are at war with our children because they're not behaving the way we think they should behave, but we've not taught them how to behave. We've not taught them who they are from the truth of who they are. We've taught them according to this capitalistic, Western, patriarchal. We're teaching them so that they can be here and survive. But you don't survive here by these rules, because these rules don't really apply to you.
No.
You survive here by understanding your spiritual power and your wisdom. And that's what Goddess Technology is like, teaching us the wisdom, the ancient wisdom, so that we can actually begin to behave and participate in ways that allow us to access our magic. That's your intuition, your psychic abilities, your abilities to heal your body. Many of us don't recognize that we can heal our bodies. So we go to doctors and ask them to heal what we know that, it's like we know that nobody knows what's best for us better than we do.
Mm-hmm.
But yet, and still, we don't use that. When something's going on with my body, I go into questioning, what's going on with you? What is happening here? Before I go to a doctor, I'm going to sit still with my body, with my organs, with that space in my body that's giving me pain. And I'm going to say, what is this pain trying to offer me? What's being given here, so that I can receive it and get the lesson. When we go to a doctor, they're not inside of our bodies. They're going to look at some chart and say, these symptoms might mean this, and give us some medicine that for the symptoms, but not for the cause.
Mm-hmm. I saw someone yesterday, and he said he was having some symptoms, and he Googled it. And then Google, when you Google your symptoms, they're going to have you on the craziest shit. Like it said, he was schizophrenic and this and that and all this other stuff. And it's like, okay, do you accept that about you? But because, of course, all of those conditions can be available if you want to go in that direction. Or do you want to look at where you are, listen to the symptoms, and start bringing yourself back into alignment, so that if you utilize a doctor as a tool, like you would use a fork or a spoon or a fan, it's a tool. The doctor should be a tool. The doctor is not God. The doctor is to assist and aid you in your healing. If they're not doing that, what are they doing? They're just preparing you for the capitalistic machine, so that you're on these medicines and these drugs and these things that take you further away from what you came here to do. And imagine a world. The world, this is what I'm imagining, the world where we teach our children right in the beginning their power, who they are, the power to heal themselves, how to be in alignment with nature. This is what our mothers knew how to do. This is Goddess Technology coming back to that, aligning with that, so that we're not dependent on these things outside of ourselves. And you can still be, quote unquote, successful on this plane, in this 3D dimension, on Earth today. Absolutely. Have the beautiful life you create for yourself. You're not of it. You know how in church they say be in it, but not of it. This is how you start to really embody being in it, because we're here now. But you don't have to be of it. It doesn't have to run you. You get to decide. Monique and I, when we talk about this being a game, and we already know the end. So spoiler alert, you win. You're totally going to win. But how do you want to win? You want the good win, you want the ugly win, but you're going to win.
Right.
Okay.
That's right.
But we want the good win. We want to experience the joy and the love and the pleasure and the amazing things. Not to say you're not going to have challenges, because that's a part of it. We grow through those. That's a part of the experience. So Goddess Technology is awakening us to that, and it's a daily walk. It's not, okay, I did the thing, now I'm done. No, if you're still here, it's still work to do.
That's right. That's work, because the work is not just for you. The work is for you. Do your work so that you can also then bring people along with you. You want to bring your family, right? But you do it. It's not, and when I say bring people along with you, I really mean bring them along with you in your consciousness, because people get to choose how they want to participate, right? So, but when you come into Goddess consciousness, you recognize that love is, like, you can love everyone unconditionally where they are. And if for those of us who had deep connections with our grandmothers, like my grandmother loved me unconditionally. That's why I'm here today, because she didn't place limitations upon me based upon what the world was. She's like, she saw the possibilities inside of me. And that is what we get to do when we step into being a goddess. We see the possibilities, and just quantum physics says because we observe it, it is. So because my grandmother observed the possibility for greatness inside of me, even though I was a little girl, I wasn't necessarily expressing it, but she knew that the seeds of greatness were inside of me. And because she took actions that would put me on the path towards being who I'm meant to be, because she saw it in me, now I have access to it. My grandmother died when I was 21 years old. That's over 20 some years ago. But I'm still on the path because she cast the net. She planted the seeds. And that's what we are to do for the people that we love. We are to cast the net. We are to see the possibilities. But you have to come into your own power and your own alignment and your own connection to source in order to do that. Because this reality, the thing that we don't understand about this reality is a blank page, y'all. The blank page, they created America on a blank page. They said it's going to be this and this and this, a judicial system, that was a blank page. Anybody can do that. We have a blank page too, and we can create it through our own internal understanding of our connection to our higher selves, to the divine, to the goddess. And I want to say something right now that I don't often say. Being a woman is not like being a man. There's this idea of equality. Equality is a dirty word, just like compromise is a dirty word. Nothing is equal to anything, but everything serves its purpose.
Yes.
Everything.
We are whole and perfect and complete. People get weird with the perfect word too.
Yes.
You know, you think, well, we're not perfect, we're not this, but you are perfectly you.
Yes,
you are perfect. So if you can redefine what perfection means, and perfection is always becoming.
Yes.
You're always becoming. You have the opportunity to keep up leveling and keep transitioning and keep growing. That's perfection.
Yes.
That is perfection.
That is perfection. Yes. That evolutionary process that continues is perfection, you know? And so it's just, we have to do the work to transform our minds. We must. And you must work with your, the technology of your DNA, because what people don't understand is that it's in the body. And if you're not willing to create the space to be with yourself, then you won't be able to access your power, your gift, and your potential to be who you're really meant to be.
We talk about this too. School teaches us, so we all get routed into school, and really you're thinking, oh, you know, education, they're teaching you how to read and all that, but it's so much more that they're teaching in our schools right now. They're preparing you how to function in the society and how to function on the blank page that they've designed and they've painted, not how to create your own blank page and how to create your own picture to function in. It's how to participate in their hologram.
That's right. That's right.
And what we basically do is we function from the neck up. We're not generally not in our bodies and the wisdom in our bodies. What we learn as you really get into this is that with the wisdom being in the body informs the mind. You think it's the mind telling the body what to do, but it's really the other way around, because the memory's stored in the body. As you understand that, then you can start listening, deep, beautiful listening, and healing.
Yes. That's right.
So movement is always a part of what we do in Goddess Technology. It's always a part. It's really important to not just stay cerebral with it, and to get into your bodies, and to enjoy your body, and to appreciate your body, and to love your body, even as she is becoming. Whatever the next iteration is, loving, because you have a body.
Yes, you have a body for a reason. That's why you can have a baby, because you have a body, right? And so
we talked about suicide. Remember what you said about suicide last week?
What was it?
Well, you were saying that, okay, so folks are having a hard time. Okay, so from the neck up, they're stressed, they're tormented, they may be depressed, and all these things. And then you have all these stories about what that means. And they want out. Like, I don't want to play anymore. I want out. So they take themselves out. And no
judgment,
disrespect, or judgment to anyone who's experienced this in their families or with a loved one. We're speaking just from a space, from a spiritual space. When someone takes themselves out of this 3D reality, the consciousness of whatever they were dealing with hasn't left. The only thing that's left is the body. And so now they're a spirit with the same energetic, but no body to work it out. So it's like, okay, you could work it out now or you could work it out later.
That's right.
But this is the name of the game, and this is where your spirit is in its evolution. Yeah. Might as well do it now.
That's
right. Might as well do it now. You want to start back at learning how to walk and talk and read and all that stuff again.
Yes. And I'll say, I remember when I really first started the work, I knew that it was going to be hard work. I knew that. But what I knew was that I could either do it now or do it later because it's not going anywhere. And thank you for reminding me of that story, because I had a practitioner that I used to go to and talk about. I used to have a lot of suicidal ideations because I was in a lot of emotional pain, and I was constantly considering killing myself. And I would have these visions of taking a gun to my head and then just seeing my body collapsed on the floor and the blood splattered on the wall. I used to really go into it because, you know, and she heard me. For the first time, I had the courage to tell somebody what it was that I was envisioning. And she was so calm. She said, well, that's a choice. She said, that's a choice. She said, but then you won't have your body to actually be able to work out what you're working out. You won't have it to do it. So then what are you going to do? Because she said it's the body that allows you to actually transmute those energies. It's the body that allows you to feel it. And it might feel like death, but once you feel it, it comes and it goes. Everything comes to pass. Everything comes to pass.
Everything comes to pass. My mother used to say all the time when I was growing up, this too shall pass.
That's right. That's right.
No matter what you're going to, this too shall pass. So what that's telling me is the state that we're always in and coming back to is peace.
Yes.
Peace.
Yes.
You know, we have happiness, we have sadness, and we have peace. Peace is our resting state. Peace is our goal. That peacekeeper, that detachment, that at one minute.
Right. That's right. And it's been a really profound thing to learn how to sit with really hard feelings.
Yeah.
All set to learn my art. Oh, that's all set. Okay. Sorry, my cats are walking away. To learn how to sit with the hard things. You know, like we have a physical experience of that called labor. Right? When you're sitting with this very uncomfortable thing, and you know when you're in labor, something is coming through you, so you're able to breathe and move through it, and you're not creating a story that somebody's doing anything to you. But life is that way. Life is that way. You know, lately I've been going through some really challenging things financially, and I'm like, okay, can I just sit with this rather than being scared, and rather than being like, okay, how am I going to fix it? Just feel it, because this is bringing me into the birthing process of a new financial experience, right? But what happens is, you know, there's this conversation lately, like women are in their masculine, women are in their masculine. What does that mean? You're in your head. It means you're not in your body. You're not feeling it. To be in your masculine means you're in your head trying to figure it out. What am I do? That's the masculine. The mind is the masculine. And I think it's really important for us to understand that we are all both masculine and feminine. If you have a mind and a body, the body is feminine because of the feelings, because the body feels. But the mind is masculine because it calculates. It is, you know, your mind will tell you, don't do that. Don't do. It's attempting to protect you. But you got to get your mind in service to your body.
Yes. Yes.
And the body does not serve the mind. The mind serves the body.
Yeah.
And so that's the work of Goddess Technology, is really understanding how do we come back to the feminine technologies, the feminine principles of being able to envision something, using your imagination. You got to really learn how to use it. And then being able to feel. You have to feel. If you cannot feel, if you can't feel, you can't have. It's as simple as that.
Many folks are trying not to feel. So when you think of alcohol abuse and quote unquote drugs and things like that, that's an attempt to just take care of the body in a way so you anesthetize the feeling.
That's right.
And as you are anesthetizing your feeling, you're basically just putting yourself on hold. You're putting yourself on hold instead of doing the work. We know that some of these feelings are going to be uncomfortable. Birth is a beautiful example of that, understanding that you're going through something hard, but you're going to have something beautiful as you get through it. Just be with your feelings sometimes. Allow yourself to be with whatever you're feeling. When you talk about the body, women have a lot of shame around our bodies, shame around our sexuality, our yoni. Uh-oh, looks like you're spinning. Okay, you're
I'm
there.
here. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And that is really important to start to be with so we can heal that. We understand why we have those feelings, where they've come from. Now we can look at it and say, that's not ours.
Yes.
That is not ours. How are we making our bodies, the very vehicles that carry us through this dimension, shameful? Why are we making any part of our body shameful and thinking that they all have to look a certain way? I love using the analogy of a garden.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is not a rose. Everything is not a daisy. Everything is not a hibiscus. It's a beautiful array of different flowers that make up this beautiful garden. That's all of our bodies.
Yes.
They're beautiful. Yes. And there are ways to embrace them and to heal them, but we have to heal them from a place of love and a place of an open heart.
Yes.
And that is Goddess technology.
That's right. Compassion and acceptance. Mm-hmm. And that's the path to transformation, mm-hmm. Compassion and acceptance.
For yourself first.
That's right. For yourself first. And many of us align ourselves to the cultural experiences because we want to fit in. We want to belong. You know, we want approval from the external world. I know that was the biggest thing that I had to really learn to work with, was that I was seeking approval of myself from others. Yeah. And that's not where you're going to get your approval from. The approval comes from inside. So because I only have a few minutes, I have a client that I have to see in 10 minutes, not in 10 minutes, at 10, but I want to talk about where we're going to be going with the goddess work now around working around sexual shame. You want to?
Absolutely. So we have just completed a 3-part series called Goddess Technology. We have beautiful women from all over the world. So that is complete for now. That'll come back. And each time we do that, it'll be a little different depending on what is present at that time. So if those are interested in seeing and experience the recorded version of that, that is available. What we are moving into now is Goddess Gathering. We recognize that this work is ongoing. This is lifetime work. So we have a group of women who are meeting every Thursday to do the work, the ritual, the community. This work is done in community, recognizing that we are all still in the 3D reality. We are all still here on this planet right now. And the things in the outside world are not necessarily helping us to develop our higher. It's helping because it's giving us the negative charge. We are giving ourselves the positive charge to push through and against that as we up level into these concentric circles. So we're meeting every Thursday, 8 o'clock, what is this, East Coast time, 8 p.m. East Coast time, and that is 5 p.m. Pacific time, and then all the times in between. So that'll be linked at the bottom of this message, and of course it'll be linked in my link tree. We welcome you to the first session. The first session is tonight, and we're going to be talking about sexual shame and really owning what's happening in our bodies, the stories that we're telling ourselves, so we can pull that tape out and tell a different story, have a different page that we can paint on about who we are, even as we're shifting, even as we're becoming, even as we're up leveling, understanding that you have and always have been the technology. Why has the world put so much into keeping you from this knowledge? Because there are people and powers and systems that know what it is. When you do know who you are, you're no longer controlled. You're no longer a service to this machine. You start being a service to what you're really about, what your spirit incarnated here for. So we're doing this together in community with women all over the world. We are midwifing ourselves home, midwifing ourselves into our power, into our rituals, into our magic, into our greatest incarnation right now. Healing it for our moms, our grandmoms, and so forth. Healing it for our sons and our husbands going forward, because we are sitting where we should be, in harmony with our masculine and feminine. Releasing that conflict, withdrawing. We don't have to fight. What are we fighting about? What are we fighting about? You're just fighting yourself. You're running from yourself.
Fighting yourself. That is it. Because everything here is created from the feminine, the divine mother. So if you're fighting your creations, one of my rules is don't fight your creations. If something is showing up in your reality, it's because you created it there, maybe consciously or unconsciously. But if you created it, you cannot fight your creations. You have to work with them. And some of us have some really intense creations. We got, marriages where there's all sorts of indiscretions going on, and financial lives where there's all sorts of, we created that. And why would I create that? You created it so you can learn.
Right.
You created it to learn. You created it to help you in your becoming.
Right. And if we use it as such, we become powerful beyond measure. That is the plan, to use it as such, We are in our walks, and we are vulnerably sharing from our experiences and healing ourselves in the process as well. And it really is a beautiful, cathartic experience. It is what we were born to do.
Yes, that is right. At this time on the planet, it's a beautiful time to be alive. So I invite you all to come to our first class tonight. Is free. Everyone's invited who wants to come, and you can join Follow the Sun or the Goddess Technology link, and it'll take you there. It's on Mighty Networks. Mighty Networks is an app. You can download Mighty Networks and join Follow the Sun. And for those, and here's what I want to say, this work is for people who are ready and who are dedicated, right? Because what I know doing this work, my whole life has changed. I no longer sit in spaces where I talk shit about other women. I can't, because that means I'm just talking shit about myself. I no longer sit in spaces where I judge men for their behaviors and their ways of being, because I understand the culture and how the culture has enculturated and conditioned and indoctrinated us. So I come from a place of compassion, because I know that is what I'm here to transmute. So anything I'm gossiping about or talking shit about, or, it's one of the things that's so fascinating to me is that most people are when they're talking with another person, they're having conversations about other people. That's, and as I walk around the city sometimes, and I'm in a crowded place and I listen to people talking, they're talking about their boss, or they're talking about their mother, or they're talking about somebody did. They're not talking about how they are a part of that. They're just talking about what somebody did to them. Right. And that is giving your power away. And that we all do. I know I did it for years, not understanding. And it creates a code of victimization, to believe that something is in your world that wasn't drawn there by your own frequency.
I love understanding now that victim and villain are just the same coin in different sides.
That's right.
Victim and villain are the same coin. And if you don't understand what that means, come into this circle and let's start talking about that. Because when you understand that, that's a foundational piece. Yes. You free yourself.
That's right.
You start to free yourself because you understand what's really at play here.
That's right.
What's really happening.
And people don't understand when the things you speak about come into existence. So when you speak often about the things you don't like, you're bringing them into life.
You're creating it.
He said this and he said that. You're creating that. They did it. You're generating that experience. And so that's why it's important for us to begin to learn how to use the technology of our systems so that we can use it in alignment with our desires. And not, well, why would I create something I don't want? Well, how did you do it?
Because you don't know how to do it. You don't know your power. You don't know what you're doing.
That's right.
We hold each other accountable. And that's what we do. We hold each other accountable and to hold the mirror up to show you what you can't see. You can't see it. You see it in your brother. You see it in your sister. You're not really seeing it in you. So this is a way to start doing this real work, which is why this is why we're here. I believe that so deeply. This is why we're here. You can go through the motions another lifetime, or you can use this lifetime to be incredibly impactful for yourself, for your family, for your bloodline. That's Goddess Technology.
That's right.
That's what we're doing in Goddess Gathering. We're gathering the love and lifting the vibration.
You're pulling the log out of your own eye. Rather than looking at the splinter in your brother's eye, your sister's eye, You're pulling the log out of your own eye to understand that we are an energetic match. That's why this person is in my life, because they energetically match me somehow. Then where am I that? Right? And that's the compassion and the love and the acceptance, because when you can finally see where you are that, then you can do the work on yourself to up level yourself.
Yes.
All right.
Beautiful. Thank you. Join us tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Do the math for the times in the middle.
Yes.
We look forward to seeing you soon on Follow the Sun and God is Gathering. Much love to you all. Thank you for coming.
Bye-bye.
Peace and blessings. Bye.